For decades, many of us have been told a rather straightforward story about meat. Chicken, the lean white meat, has often been crowned the healthier choice, while red meat, like beef, has been viewed with a certain degree of suspicion. We've been advised to choose poultry to look after our hearts and maintain a healthy weight. This advice has become so ingrained in our collective consciousness that reaching for a chicken salad over a beef burger can feel like an automatic, virtuous decision. But what if the story isn't quite so simple, particularly when it comes to an area of health that is gaining enormous attention, our gut microbiome? The gut, that bustling community of trillions of bacteria living inside our digestive systems, plays a monumental role in our overall well-being. It influences everything from our digestion and immune system to our mood and even how our bodies process food. So the question naturally arises: how do our dietary choices, specifically our choice of meat, affect this delicate internal ecosystem? Does chicken truly reign supreme when we look at it through the lens of gut health? Or could beef, so often maligned, have some surprising benefits for our microbial friends? It is a fascinating and important question. This debate is no longer just a matter of calorie counting or fat content. It's about understanding the intricate dance between what we eat and the life within us. To truly understand the implications of this new research, we must first look at how the study was conducted. The investigation, carried out by a team of scientists in Spain, was designed to directly compare the effects of consuming a diet rich in either chicken or beef on the gut microbiome. The researchers recruited a group of healthy young adults, a demographic often studied to observe dietary impacts without the complicating factors of age-related health issues. This specific focus on a younger population provides a clearer window into the direct physiological responses to the food being tested. The participants were carefully divided into two groups for the duration of the study. One group was assigned a diet where their primary source of animal protein came from chicken, while the other group consumed a diet where beef was the main protein. Throughout the study, they took stool samples from everyone involved. These samples are a treasure trove of information for gut researchers, as they contain a direct snapshot of the microbial community living in the digestive tract. When the scientists analyzed the data from the stool samples, the findings were quite unexpected and challenged conventional wisdom. The group that consumed the chicken-rich diet experienced some concerning changes within their gut microbiome. One of the most significant observations was a reduction in overall microbial diversity. A diverse microbiome, teeming with many different species of bacteria, is widely considered a hallmark of good gut health. In stark contrast, the results from the beef-eating group painted a very different picture. Participants on the beef-rich diet did not show the same drop in microbial diversity. Instead, their gut microbiomes appeared to be more stable. Most notably, the consumption of beef was associated with a significant increase in the population of a specific type of beneficial bacteria called Blautia. This particular microbe is a well-regarded resident of a healthy gut, known for its ability to produce butyrate. The study's investigation did not stop at the gut. The blood sample analysis revealed further surprising metabolic changes, particularly within the chicken-eating group. These participants showed alterations in their blood chemistry that raised questions about the broader effects of a high chicken diet. One of the key findings was related to blood sugar regulation. The data indicated that the chicken diet was associated with changes that could potentially impact glycemic control. The metabolic markers in the blood suggested a subtle shift that could, over the long term, be linked to less stable blood sugar levels. In addition to the blood sugar markers, the researchers also observed significant changes in the levels of certain amino acids in the blood of the chicken-fed group. The specific profile of amino acids seen in these participants was different from that of the beef-eating group. This suggests that the body processes the proteins from chicken and beef in distinct ways, leading to different metabolic outcomes that extend beyond simple digestion. These metabolic shifts, taken together with the changes in the gut microbiome, present a more complex and detailed story. While the findings of this Spanish study are undoubtedly intriguing and provocative, it's essential that we interpret them with a healthy dose of scientific caution. One of the primary limitations of this particular piece of research was its size. The number of participants involved was relatively small. Furthermore, the study was conducted over a relatively short duration. While several weeks is long enough to observe changes in the gut microbiome, it may not be long enough to understand the true long-term health consequences of these dietary patterns. Finally, we must remember that this is just one study. In the world of science, a single piece of research is rarely the final word on any subject. It's a building block, a piece of a much larger puzzle. For these findings to become part of established dietary advice, they must be confirmed by other independent research teams. Until then, we should view them as an interesting and important contribution to the conversation, not as a definitive command to overhaul our diets. While the Spanish study offers a fascinating new perspective on gut health, it's crucial to place its findings within the broader context of research on meat consumption and long-term health. For many years, large-scale observational studies have pointed to potential risks associated with high intakes of certain types of meat. In particular, a significant body of evidence has linked the frequent consumption of red meat, and especially processed red meat like bacon, sausages, and deli meats, to an increased risk of developing colorectal cancer. However, the picture for poultry is not entirely unblemished either. While chicken has often been seen as the safer alternative, some research has also raised concerns. For instance, an Italian study highlighted a potential association between high chicken consumption and an increased risk for certain types of cancer. It is important to differentiate between the types of meat being discussed. The Spanish study focused on fresh, unprocessed beef and chicken. The risks are often amplified when we talk about processed meats, which contain preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. When navigating the often confusing world of nutritional science, it is always helpful to turn to established public health bodies for guidance. The National Health Service in the UK provides clear, evidence-based advice on meat consumption that aims to balance the benefits and risks. The NHS acknowledges that meat is a valuable source of several essential nutrients. It is an excellent provider of high-quality protein, which is vital for building and repairing tissues, making enzymes and hormones, and for overall growth and development. Given the health risks associated with high consumption, particularly of red and processed meats, the NHS provides specific recommendations on quantity. The current advice is that if you eat more than 90 grams, cooked weight, of red or processed meat per day, you should try to cut down. The NHS advice underscores a key principle of healthy eating: balance and moderation. It doesn't advocate for the complete elimination of any single food group, but encourages a sensible approach. So after exploring the surprising Spanish study, the broader health research, and official guidelines, what is the take-home message for someone standing at the meat counter? The answer isn't to declare one meat an absolute winner and the other a villain. Instead, it's about making thoughtful, balanced, and varied choices. A sensible approach might involve variety. Rather than eating chicken every day, consider rotating your protein sources. You could include a couple of servings of lean, unprocessed red meat per week, staying within the NHS guideline of around 70 grams per day on average. At the same time, don't forget the bigger picture of a gut-friendly diet. The most powerful way to support a healthy microbiome is to feed it well, and what it loves most is fiber. Regardless of your meat choice, ensure your plate is always packed with a wide variety of fiber-rich plant foods. Ultimately, the journey to better health is one of balance, not extremes. This recent study is a perfect example of how science is constantly evolving, reminding us to keep an open mind. The best diet is one that is diverse, rich in whole foods, and enjoyable. Listen to your body, stay informed by credible sources, and focus on building a sustainable eating pattern that includes a variety of proteins, be it chicken, beef, fish, or plant-based options. By prioritizing variety and fiber, you will be giving your vital gut microbiome the best possible support for your long-term health and well-being.